Hi guys, and welcome to episode 16 of Operation Premiership with Coventry City, and this is the first episode of season 3 at the club. We are in our second year in the Empire Championship, so I've got lots of transfers to get you up to date with, so I'll get straight onto them now. There's a lot more out than there is in. As you'll notice already, there isn't a lot of Welsh players coming in like there was last year. I had a look. There really wasn't any to bring in. So we'll get straight onto the outs. First of all, Shane Fagan, a youth keeper. Trying to bring him through. He looks like he's got a little bit of potential, but I've just loaned him out to Stevenage for the season to get some first team football. Adam Barton left on for £250,000 to go to St Johnstone. Sorry. He really pissed me off basically. He was getting first team football, then he came whinging. I told him to shut up. He had a massive tantrum, then he stopped coming to training. I fined him for not coming to training, and then he kicked off about that, and so he has to be transfer listed. I accepted his transfer request, and then at the end of the season, once we stayed up, suddenly he was like, no, I want to stay, and I was like, no, fuck off. So I offered him out, and St Johnstone took him, £250,000. Good luck to them. Hope they can handle him better than I could. Ivor Lawton's a youth player. He's just gone out on loan for the season to Kettering, and his potential rating is going up every single time I see it. When I think when I first saw him, when we first took over, it was 2 stars, and it's now up to 4. It just shows that by giving him first team football, he's been at Stockport and Nuneaton, he's now gone to Kettering, he's getting first team football, getting experience, and he is progressing nicely now. Mauricio Nani, my first team choice keeper from last season, didn't last his first choice for long, and didn't last at the club for long. He had some poor performances, ended up with a 6.5 on average rating, conceded 42 in 16. That's an absolutely atrocious record. It's almost 3 a game. I sacked him off straight away. Pointless keeping a keeper like that. Joe Murphy also left on a free transfer. His contract was up. Wasn't really willing to renew it. He was only on £3.5 with me. He went to Watford and he's on almost 5. He's a decent keeper at League 1 level, so he'll do well at Watford. But I just didn't. I wanted to get a backup keeper and that wasn't going to cost so much on wages. Next out was Gary McSheffrey. I knew it was going to go down badly with the fans. He is a favoured personnel for Coventry. I just felt that he wasn't going to do the job I needed him to on the wing. His pace has gone, his natural fitness. He's going to start getting tired every game, and I just thought it better to offload him. He was on about £5,000 a week as well, so he was taking up a little chunk of the wages. So I decided to let him go. Next out was Steve Jennings on a free transfer. I tried to offload him at the start of the season. I accepted an offer of £1.2 million from Huddersfield. Everywhere I tried to offload him to, I offloaded him to Cardiff as well in the Premiership. He just kept rejecting their contracts, and he was on £3,000 a week with me, and he wanted £10,000 to stay, and I just wasn't willing to give it to him. So I let him go on a free transfer. He's ended up at Leeds, who were in the playoffs last season. Next out was Chris Dunn, goalkeeper. I don't think he's played a game in the league for us since I joined. He did. He played 3 games when I think Murphy was injured in League 1. Didn't play at all last season. He's ended up at Bournemouth. He's just a backup keeper. He's in their reserves, so they're obviously not playing in first team. He's on less than he was here when he was at mine. He was at £2,000 a week here. That's the only reason I let him go. Otherwise, I would have kept him as backup. David Bell, I was trying to offload to everyone, but nobody would take him because he was on £5,000 a week. And the only teams that wanted him were League 2. MK Don certainly weren't interested in him when he was at mine. He's only on £625 a week now. That's probably why they're interested. I ended up having to pay £250,000 to offload him. That's second summer running I've had to pay a player off to leave the club. He wouldn't accept a mutual termination. He wasn't going to get first team football. I just can't understand pricks like that when they rather wait for you to pay them the full contract before leaving, rather than just accepting that they're not good enough for the club. Connor Thomas has gone out on loan to Chesterfield just to try and get his current ability up. I know he's got the potential to go far in this game, so I just want him to start to realise that. Jesse Lingard, the same, he's got good potential, but he's not going to get proper first team football here, so I've loaned him out to Crewe. Ben Clapperson's gone on loan to Lincoln. Kevin Malaga left for £200,000 to Metz. Again, free up some wages and bring in a bit of transfer money. Next out was Richard Wood. Now this was another controversial decision with the fans. They like him. He's on the favoured personnel list. He was on £5,500 a week here, and he wasn't getting the first team because when he was in the first team at the start of last season, he made several mistakes, and then Ignacy Miquel came in, took his place off him. Then he wanted first team football, so he requested to be on the transfer list. I accepted, and I ended up selling him in the summer for £200,000. He rejected an offer from Hearts for when he was going for £250,000, so I lost £50,000 there. But to be honest, I feel like I've got a decent defence now, and they're not on as high wages as he was. Carl Baker's gone out on loan to Luton. He's not going to be a part of my team this season. I've got a lot better players in now. He's 31, past it a bit. He is on £3,500 a week, so I'm looking to offload him on a permanent basis, really. Darren McQueen has gone on loan to Wrexham to try and realise his potential that he's got. Lewis Rankin has gone on loan to Macclesfield. I think this is the last year he's going to spend at the club. I'll probably make a decision on him at the end of the season. Arcadius Stanislavski has gone on loan to Luton. Get on to him in a bit. He's a new signing. Thomas Button has gone on loan to Nuneaton as well. His free kick taking has gone up. He was 18 when he joined. It's now 19. His corners have gone up to 15. So he is definitely improving nicely. Jumping and acceleration has dropped a little bit, but he's making regular appearances for Nuneaton, which is good at his young age. Sebastian Dietrich has gone on loan to League One for a second season in a row. He's gone to Notts County this time. Hopefully he'll be able to play a few games for them there. And that is all the outs, so total of £650 brought in. Didn't spend a lot of money really. First guy coming in was Denis Cheryshev from the Real Madrid B team. He looks like a quality left winger. Basically bought as a replacement for McSheffrey. He's only on £1,000 or two more than McSheffrey was, but as you can see, he's far better than him. He's only 23 as well. He's got a lot of potential. Good composure, concentration, creativity, decisions in the mental area. He's got the technical attributes for a winger. He's got the pace. He just needs to improve on maybe his stamina and strength, and he could be a completely all-round player then. So really pleased with his signing. He's already valued at 1.2 million, so that's good. Next in was the ex-Man United striker Manucho. He's transfer listed at Valladolid. I bought him in on £4,000 loan fee, and I've got to put a clause in there to buy him on a permanent deal for £140,000. His value's shot up since he's been here scoring, and as you can see, he's a complete all-round striker. He's 6'2". He's got pace, he's got fitness, he's got jumping, he's got heading, finishing, composure. He's a quality striker, and I'll tell you what, he should score at least 15-20 goals this season if he keeps going the way he is. He's already got 3 in 5 for me, and he's going along like a steam train. He's really tall, he's fast as well, and he can score goals. Arkadiusz Stanislavski was next in, a Polish 18-year-old regen striker. He looks pretty decent. He's got a fair bit of flair. His physical attributes are already good at 18 years old. That's really good. His technical attributes not the best, but they can still improve. But he looks a really good regen, and if we can just help him realise that potential a bit, then he definitely will be a star for the future. Next in was John Wormgore, another regen, this time from Holland. This guy's got an incredible report. He's only 18, he's got 12 finishing, 12 composure, 15 pace. The rest of it's all going to come, but his physical stats are absolutely incredible for an 18-year-old. His technical attributes will improve, his mental stats will improve. His report at the moment he's good enough for a League One. They say he's going to be a good Premiership striker, 5-star potential ability. That's what I want to see from my young strikers. So he's coming. He's going to be challenging for the backup to Manuccio this season. DJ Campbell's going to have some hard work holding on to that. Next in was David Davis. He was released by Wolves at the end of last season, and I brought him in as kind of a replacement for Stephen Jennings. He's another battling, ball-winning midfielder. He's got the physical stats, he's got the mental stats for it, and he's pretty good technically as well. And as you can see, he's had a good start to the season with us. He's not too expensive either, only just short of £6 a week. He's only 23 as well, so he's got a lot of ability to improve. Ismail Zelli came in on loan. He's since gone back and gone to Doncaster on loan. This was a signing on loan made by my director of football, and he didn't play in the first 2 or 3 games of the season. Then he turned around and said he wanted to go back, so I said okay. Chris Eagles then came in on free transfer just before the start of the season. He's an experienced right winger. He can play all across midfield really, and the attacking midfield as well. 3.5-star report for the current ability. He's 28, so he's got he can still play for another couple of years. I'm going to judge him on this season. He's only got a 1-year deal as well, so I'll judge him on this season. If I want to keep him, I can, and if I don't, I'll be letting him go. So it's a short-term deal, and it works out best for us. Then Jeffrey Lembe came in as my backup keeper on loan for the season. I was struggling to find a keeper, and I just had to find one. This guy doesn't look too bad, and he looks like he could do a job should Alex McCarthy get injured or something like that. So he's a pretty decent backup goalkeeper. And finally, Christopher Olsen was made. An offer was made by my director of football as well for him. He's a good young prospect, 19 years old, attacking midfielder. He's brought in from Arsenal on loan on deadline day. I'm just going to see how he does. I don't like the fact that we're paying his entire wages. He's on £3 a week, so we'll see how he does. If he does do well, we'll keep him. If he's not playing by Christmas and he's not doing well when he does play, I will be sending him back. But we'll see how he does. He does look like he's got a bit of potential that he can realise at the club, so maybe he could help us. We'll see what happens. So that is the end of the transfers. As you can see, we're sticking with the wage budget. We're spending 95,143. The wage budget is 95,064, which is pretty good actually. So that means that we're, I think we are £79 over the budget, but we've still got 150 grand left of the transfer budget, so we can use that if we need to. So we'll get straight onto the fixtures that we've already played. So in the pre-season we were unbeaten. We beat Basingstoke 1-0 away. Goal coming courtesy of Philip Sly, young Welsh midfielder. Not the best results, but it was the first game of the season. The players were a bit rusty. We then drew 1-1 at home to FC Twente. Mickwell with the goal. It's a good result against a team like Twente. Very good Dutch side. We then played Torino, a top Italian side, top division Italian side. We drew 2-2. McGoldrick and an own goal getting on the score sheets for us. We then played Levante at home at a top division Spanish side, so that's top Dutch, top Italian, top Spanish, and we've drawn all 3 games, which was really pleasing to see. DJ Campbell getting on the score sheet for us in a 1-1 draw. And then we went away to Fleetwood and we drew 0-0, not too bad away from home. It's only a friendly, of course. So a good pre-season to get us underway. We then faced a very tough start to the season. We faced West Ham away, relegated last season. Blackburn, a very good side at home. Cardiff were relegated last season. So 3 really tough games. The first game of the season was away at West Ham. We lost 1-0. We never really did anything up front, causing any trouble. They played pretty well. A 12th minute goal from David Bennett was enough to secure them victory. There were 3 late injuries, 1 for us, 2 for them, but they held on for the win. all 3 points, but it wasn't a bad result, bad performance by us. We only conceded 1. We then played Gillingham at home in the Capital One Cup. This was a poor performance, 0-0. We just weren't clinical at all. Had 15 shots, only 2 on target. They had 5 and 1 on target. We dominated possession, and we ended up going out on penalties. We scored 2 out of 5. They scored 3 out of 5. 3-2 winners for them. We then followed that up with a 3-0 thumping of Blackburn in the league. Blackburn battered Cardiff on the first day, so I was actually fearing for everything. But Manucci after 16, Sabai after 29, and Hetherington on 84, getting all 3 goals. Bebe did go off injured, but it wasn't serious. They probably were the better side on the day, but we were the ones who took our chances. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. Really good performance by the lads. We then played Cardiff at home and lost 1-0. This was a really tight game. They had more shots on target, but we were in it all the way along. But Velikonja, after 65 minutes, sealed the victory for them and got them all 3 points. We then went away to Millwall, and I was pretty disappointed with this because we took the lead after 2 minutes through Manucci, and it was a very even game. We had more possession. They had more shots. It was fairly even, and a draw would have been the fair result. But Lewis Guy then equalised after 16. Then with 5 minutes to go, he scored the winner to put Millwall 2-1 up in front. With a few minutes to go, we tried to get the goal, just couldn't though. But disappointed to only to finish on the wrong end of that result. We then played Sheffield United, and I just thought this was the start of a bad run. This was going to be 3 defeats in a row. Because Paul Hayes put them in front after 17, and 2 minutes later Rabusic made it 2-0, and I was just like, this is ridiculous, and I was starting to lose faith in the side. But then just before half time, Miquel equalised, got one back, just over the hour mark. Miquel made it 2-2, and 4 minutes later Manucci completed the comeback and made it 3-2. And if you look at the stats, we did deserve it, and 3 points was a vital result for us. So that is the fixtures update, and it has left us 14th in the Empower Championship, 2 wins and 3 defeats, 7 goals scored, 6 conceded. So defence is a lot more stable than it was at the start of last season. It's pretty much the same as it was at the end of the last season, when after Alex McCarthy had come in. So we've had a decent start to the season. We do need to kick on though. We can't afford to sit back and relax and think that this is going to be how it is easy. So if we kick on, I know that we can move up the table and maybe challenge for a top 10 finish. I'll be happy with the top 10 even if we just miss out on the playoffs. It'd be a massive improvement on last season, but if we can make the playoffs, then albeit we'll see what happens. We had a decent result against Blackburn. We've got Norwich next, which is a big game. They're 7th, so we'll see how we get on there. But for now guys, that's the end of the episode. I will be back with you. I'll show you the next episode. The next episode is going to be the month of September. What I'll do is I'll do September and October's together. So I'll come back and I'll review these 10-11 fixtures, and we will then see where we are, and I may do a live come in there, so hold up for that. But for now guys, I'll see you later. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments that you want on how you think we're going to get on this season. I will answer every comment that is left. So thanks a lot guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.